Movies and Martinis celebrates women and diversity in the entertainment world
by ranking trending movies, shows, and books
with two completely different perspectives and ranked by delicious martinis.
Listen to find out how many martinis we felt it was worth.
And learn about the women who have written, performed, and/or directed in everything we have rated.
A new episode is available every Thursday on your favorite podcast platform and YouTube. What's up, everyone? Welcome to our podcast. I'm Priya.
And I'm Mercy. Hey, Priya, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I'm good. I was like cheers. Here when you were introducing yourself, looking for my mug. So cheers to you. I have my special cup that I love.
I love it.
My Reddish cup. And you're a badass, and I love it. And I also have water. Do you have water?
Yeah, that's what I have in my cup.
Stay hydrated because it's like almost summer.
I already had 2 cups of coffee. I'm like, I need to just put water in here right now.
Oh, that's fine. No, this is my second cup, and I'm having it with mushrooms.
Yes.
I'm
so you
super
told me
excited
about
mushrooms.
We should get them to sponsor our podcast.
No kidding, right? Yeah,
right?
Seriously. I love it. I love it. So what are we talking about today?
Okay. So we are talking about a huge hit show, Bridgerton, season 3.
Yes. Woo! Yes, I'm excited about that one. I know we're talking about so many things this season, but yes, oh my goodness.
Okay.
Love it.
So if you're under a rock, so I gotta say this before I even talk. Well, do you want to do your spoiler thing first? Yes,
big spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it, maybe watch it before you listen to us. If you're not into it, but you want to hear a little bit more about what everybody's talking about, then listen to us. So either way, if you don't care about spoilers, then stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Okay. Stay tuned. So I'm gonna complain a little bit because we're part of the Bookstagram community, and we posted something about Bridgerton, and I was just in awe and just like disbelief that so many people have not watched it. And I'm like, is something wrong with me?
Okay, Priya. No, nothing. So let me help you out here. First of all, nothing is wrong with you. You're perfection. Secondly, there are a lot of people that are just not into that type of book or that era.
True.
Yeah, so that whole thing, like I could tell you, I have personally asked my own girls, and there's 3 different personalities. Did you watch it? Are you into it? Not one has any interest in it. Not one.
Snap.
They're like, no, I tried. I looked, I watched it, and it was like, and then the other one was like, I tried, and I was so bored. And then I have friends that are like, oh my God, I watched it twice. And then I rewatched the first one to watch the second one, and I'm obsessed. So it's, it's not for everybody. And you got to respect it. That it happens to be excellent. Yes, you and I know that. But,
but I was just like, what is happening right now? How did you not look at this?
I know. I feel you. Especially to me, it's so much more than a great story because it has an excellent storyline. Yes. Let's start there. Mm-hmm. Then the costumes are out of this world.
Wait. Who edited this podcast episode? It's getting so good. So good that I need to give a shout out to our sponsor, Blue Box Media, an NYC-based video production firm. Blue Box Media makes our movies and martinis dreams come true every Thursday by editing every episode. Check them out at blueboxllc.com. And okay, let's get back to those martinis.
The jewels, the scenery, everything is spectacular. The cinematography is amazing. And the freaking music. It's all trending music in classical style.
Hello, they put Pitbull.
Yeah. So I don't get it, but I respect it.
True,
I just,
true.
Okay, I get it. It's not for everybody. But
I'm
since
saying
we love it, we can talk about it.
A lot of our Booksta friends that like romance have watched Pride and Prejudice. So I mean,
beautiful. But not everybody cares about that book, which is mind-blowing to us, right? Like, hello. It's like a work of art.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me stop complaining.
Art is very diverse.
Very true.
Yeah.
Okay. So
do you want to talk about Penelope?
Sure.
Or do you want to talk about Colin?
Okay.
What do you want to talk about?
For our listeners and our viewers have not heard of Bridgerton, it's a Regency era show on Netflix created by Shonda Rhimes. She's a genius, and it's like
Badass.
perfection and art. And it's about 8 close-knit siblings of the Bridgerton family looking for love and happiness in London high society. So go ahead. Tell me about
Okay,
Penelope.
so funny that you say that. Funny that you say that because I'm watching the first season. I'm rewatching the first season with a friend of mine because she had never watched it.
Oh.
So she actually watched the 3rd season because I was like, I'm watching this. So she said, I'll watch it with you. And she loved it. And she told me I would never really watch this. This is not my kind of show. And after the first episode, she's like, I don't think I would have watched it if it hadn't been that we just binged it all together. And I loved it. So I want to watch the first one. So we went to watch the first one. And on the first one, when it starts and it shows you the picture, it's introducing you to what the whole show is going to be about. There's 7 siblings.
Yes.
And now there's 8 siblings.
There's a lot of stories.
So there's a lot of back and forth. But this is a book series. So I think if you read the books, which I have not, if you read the books, then it would make more sense. But I think in the Hollywood, in that transition of it becoming Hollywood, they add and they subtract siblings. And this particular sibling that they're talking about in this episode, I'm sorry, in this season 3, which is it Francesca?
Francesca, yeah.
Yes, so she's who it's supposed to be about. The season is supposed to be about her, but we really know it's all about Penelope.
Yeah, they kind of like skipped to Penelope's story. So my feeling is
I think they intertwined her into it, but she overpowers it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it stays true to the line because every season has been about a Bridgerton child getting married. Yes. Finding the right, the perfect partner. So they had to kind of do that. And they did it beautifully with the character that I don't think was there originally.
Yeah.
I don't remember Francesca. I remember there always being, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember always there being Daphne, Eloise, and then there was a little sister.
Yeah, Francesca was there, I think. But
Maybe
she was like
season 2.
She was very quiet and very background, which is sort of like her demeanor now in season 3. She's very quiet, very reserved. She just wants to play the piano.
So was she there season 1? Because I only recall 3 girls.
You know what? That's a good question. We have to go back and look. So if you guys are listening and looking at this video, like, let us know.
But we'll do more research on that because we're going to come back next month and talk about the second part of season 3, which kind of leaves us hanging.
Yes. And these books, by the way, are by Julia Quinn. And I think there's like 10 or 8 books that she's written. Right. So there's a lot of content here for Shonda Rhimes to use. A lot of content. But Francesca, the actress that plays her in season 3 is a new actress. So the
Ruby Stokes.
Yes. So the person that was playing her before, she's no longer playing her. They replaced her with somebody, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I think maybe that's the reason you never noticed her, because it's a completely different person that's playing Francesca. But okay, let's talk about Penelope real quick.
I think that's all anybody cares about right now.
Now
Penelope and Colin,
they've been friends since, they were little. And she's actually best friends with Colin. She used to be best friends with Colin's sister, Eloise. And they had a falling out because, spoiler alert, there's a gossip column in the town by a author named Lady Whistledown. And Lady Whistledown happens to be Penelope. So nobody knows except for Eloise and probably like one more person. And they had a falling out. The seamstress, yes. So they are not talking in this season, and Colin's constantly wondering what's wrong with you guys. Like, I don't know how to act.
What's the fallout? What are you fighting about?
So tell me your take on Penelope.
I love Penelope. I love that Penelope is so true to herself, and I love how she's developed, like how the character, how the girl inside of her has developed into this young woman, which it's beautiful. And I love that she's true to doing whatever it takes to find love, because she refuses to be that girl in the background that's never going to find love because she's dismissed, starting with her mom and her siblings. So her mom and her two sisters give me like a Cinderella vibe.
Yeah. Since the beginning, since season 1, they gave me that vibe.
Making Penelope the Cinderella in the story, you know, like with the two sisters.
Yeah.
So I love that she's fought through it all. And I love how beautiful she feels. Not how they made her look, but how she feels, how she looks like she feels as she's finding herself and saying, I don't want to wear that. I want to wear this. And I want my hair like this. And I want my makeup like that. And then on the other side of it, how Colin is starting to look at her in a different light and saying, wait a second, that young girl, that I was embarrassed to be, you know, hang around with because of how she looked or who she was or everything about her. You know, I think there's more to it and I'm feeling more. And then jealousy kicks in. And she kind of falls for somebody. She's starting to fall for somebody new when he sees it, and it gets steamy, and it's beautiful. It's just so perfect. I'm really loving it. So that's it in a nutshell. It kind of drives you, like all of your energies going like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Is he going to?
All the tension.
She's pretty much poured it all out.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm in love with you. I'm infatuated with you. This is who I am. And I really want you without saying it, but she's already said it in many ways.
Oh, so you could totally see it this season that she's over it. Her demeanor's different. So before, like you were saying, she was a wallflower. Now she's just like, oh, every time you see her in the beginning, oh, like I'm done. I'm done. Bye. I'm done. You know?
Yes.
And I love that she made that transformation into just owning herself, loving herself more, and just wasn't willing to take
how powerful that is, right? How powerful she looks because she took that route.
Yes.
And it was that same exact transformation from within her that made her so attractive to Colin. Which is a beautiful thing. So it goes to show us as women, the more we love ourselves, the more attractive we become to others.
Yeah. And she was
so important.
She was also in her power because as Lady Whistledown, people loved the magazine. Nobody knew who she was, but people loved reading it. And that empowered her. And number 2, she was earning her own money. So the mom kept on referring, oh, you're spending all your pin money on all these fabrics and new beautiful dresses. But little
and the
did
girl's
she know,
rolling with her money.
She's rolling in dough from people buying her paper.
Absolutely.
And I do have to say a couple things about the mom. So the mom, you made me think about the Cinderella thing when you mentioned it. The mom at some point says to her, oh, I thought you would be taking care of me because the other 2 daughters are married off. You'd be taking care of me, you know, because you're a spinster. She like wrote her off like you're a spinster, kind of like how Cinderella was like written off.
Yes.
And the mom would give her like these looks like, oh shit, like she was seeing like how sad Penelope was, what she was going through, but she was still had to like manage her own expectations of like all these things that she wanted, the wealth and blah, 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 blah. You know,
and you see, yes, you're right. And you see that transformation and how the mom is starting to realize that she hasn't been fair or that she hasn't really been seeing Penelope for who Penelope is towards the end of this season.
Yes.
Which is so powerful.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of different things. You have best friends that are in this conflict with her and with Eloise. But then you have the friends to lovers kind of energy happening between Penelope and Colin. Then you have the siblings' point of view with Penelope and her siblings, and then that maternal relationship with her mom.
Yeah.
So you have like all these different things happening at the same time
for her,
and then that entrepreneur that she is, but then keeping secrets, right? And finding your voice and then having to hide your voice. It's just like there's just so much great stuff happening all at once.
And then there's all the other relationships in the background. So there's the one we just talked about, where we're talking about Francesca and that relationship that's sort of budding. And she's picked the diamond of the season. And then there's the mom. So the mom has the hots for
that new guy.
For the new guy, Lady Danbury's brother.
With Lady Danbury's brother, who's in town and has some kind of a conflict from history with his own sister.
Yes.
But he likes her and she likes him, and that's kind of happening in the background. But let's talk about Will and his wife and the inheritance because of their son.
Oh, yes.
And then they're coming into society.
So Will is based on a real person in history, a boxer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they didn't. So it's a boxer from America that he's a former slave, came to London. A former slave from America went to London, became a boxer. And I don't know if he opened a bar, but that is the real character that his character is based on. But instead of him being from America, they just made him just be from London and nothing tied to America, to keep simple, simple background.
Okay, but it's a great story.
Yes.
So, to sum it up again, we have a lot of excellent stories going on. So it's great. And then of course, everything finally falls in place, at least with Penelope and Colin, where he comes out and he tells her how he feels, and he's like all over her and she's all over melting, and it's just like all this love is happening in the carriage, in the backseat of the carriage, and it's like just smoking, and it kind of ends there. And they give you the previews, which I was telling you, Pri, I don't know if you had a chance to look at.
I haven't watched it yet, so I definitely have.
At the end of the last show, if you stay on long enough, it shows you what's coming up in the next half of that season. And so one of the things that they show is that Eloise finds out that Colin is in love with Penelope, and he asks her to marry him. So when she says, yes, I'll marry you, Eloise says, I give you until midnight to tell him who you are. And
that's insane.
So there's a million things happening with everybody, obviously, because there's so many different stories going on at the same time. But it shows then that the clock strikes midnight as Eloise is walking into this ballroom dance, because that's how they do their parties. And she's walking into this party, and it's like, again, I go back to that Cinderella. Reference, right? So the clock strikes midnight, and as it strikes midnight, she goes to tell him, but she can't, so she just passes out. I guess she's just overwhelmed.
Okay,
and she passes out. So that's what's coming.
And the Bridgerton blue is Cinderella blue. So this is totally based on Cinderella.
There you go.
This has to be intentional. This has to be intentional.
Yeah, it has to be, because they didn't cast the prettiest of girls for the two siblings either.
True. Yeah.
And the mom has like that wickedness about her. So there's a lot of.
I have a little Easter egg. So one of the daughters, I'm going to pull it up real quick.
Which, by the way, they need to have a son. So the mom was teaching them sex education.
I know, that was hilarious. So Bessie Carter, who plays Prudence Featherton. Bessie Carter, who plays Prudence Featherington. Her mom was in Harry Potter. Her mom.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah, her mom was Dolores Umbridge, the chancellor or whatever schools that took over at some point in Harry Potter. But yeah.
Okay, but so did Simon Bassett.
Simon Bassett?
Yes. Remember him?
No.
Yeah, he was beautiful. He's the one that married Daphne.
Oh, yes. He was also in Harry Potter.
He was in Harry Potter
right.
too. Yeah.
That's right. So I wonder.
That's like when we watched Pride and Prejudice, and you see all these huge names that are in shows now or movies or in the last couple decades, and they started there when they were way younger.
Yes. So nice little nuggets, and lots of things to look forward to in the second half of season 3. So how many? Well, should we even rate it now? Do you want to rate it now?
No, I think let's rate it at the end.
Okay.
Let's rate it after we watch the second half, but so far so good. We'll say that.
We're not rating any martinis this time. We're gonna wait till the season is over.
We're gonna
Sorry,
wait,
guys.
but it is good, and we urge you, if you really haven't given it a chance, give it maybe 1 or 2 shows
Mm-hmm.
before you dismiss it, because it really is really pretty. The storylines are really nice. And there's so much in the show.
So much. Like these 4 episodes for season 3 were spicy. Really good.
Yes. And they have the spin-off of The Queen, where they show you the whole story of the Queen. That was freaking amazing.
Yes.
That by far has been my favorite Bridgerton of all.
Really?
Yes.
Aw.
Yes. The love story of the Queen.
Aw, yeah.
And the Queen's relationship with her 2 friends.
Mm-hmm.
Danbury
Danbury and Lady Bridgerton. Yeah.
Yes. Their relationship as young women and their struggle and what they went through, to me, was like hands down the best of everything they've had.
That was a beautiful season.
Give that a chance, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for listening and watching. Again, no martinis this episode, but when we're done, and in June, July, when we have the final wrap up of the season 3 Bridgerton show. I said that wrong.
I think everybody knew what you meant.
Okay.
I think we all knew.
Like, share, follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you next episode.
Sounds great, guys. Bye. Bye, Priya. Have a good one.
Bye.